Welcome, everyone, to Nightly Newsy News. It is March the 12th, and we have made it through Tuesday, which, sometimes can be a feat in and of itself. Unfortunately, it is not a feat that the Boeing whistleblower made. So, looks like airplanes are still going to be unsafe. Uh, Boeing whistleblower found not alive in hotel parking lot just days after testifying against airplane giant. A Boeing whistleblower was found not alive in his truck in a parking lot of his South Carolina hotel after he failed to show up for the second part of his testimony for a bombshell lawsuit against the company, a report said Monday. John Barnett, 62, had raised safety concerns at the airline's factories and provided his first testimony just days before he was found not alive from an apparent self inflicted Epstein force multiplier wound. I'm not saying it was a Clinton side, but you make of it what you will. The Charleston County coroner told the BBC. Barnett's attorney, Brian Knowles, told TMZ that he had explicit doubt about the circumstances of the death and called the self inflicted force multiplier, wound, quote unquote, alleged. Today is a tragic day, Knowles told corporate crime reporter. Quote, John had been back and forth for quite some time, getting prepared. The defense examined him for their allowed 7 hours under the rules on Thursday. The whistleblower had been staying at a hotel to provide a deposition in a whistleblower lawsuit against the company. It seems a mite bit shady to me. His lawyer said he and his co counsel had been calling Barnett's phone on Saturday, but calls went to voicemail. Quote, we then asked the hotel to check on him. He said that they found him in his truck dead from an alleged self inflicted wound to the head. We drove to the hotel and spoke with the police and coroner. An email to Knowles was not immediately returned Monday night. Barnett had worked for Boeing for over 3 decades before retiring in 2017. He worked as a quality control engineer. In 2019, Barnett told BBC that Boeing had compromised safety by rushing to get its 787 Dreamliner jets off the production line. Boeing released a statement on Barnett's death. Quote, we are saddened by Mr. Barnett's passing, and our thoughts are with his family and friends. In addendum, Mo adds, thank God he can't testify anymore. We didn't add that. The company has been under heightened scrutiny in recent months due to a myriad of issues on its planes, including in January, where a door done blowed off it when an Alaskan Airlines, flight was in the middle of the daggone air. I mean, look, I am not a mechanical-ologist, I am not a planeologist, but, that shouldn't happen. Following the January 5th mid-air fiasco, the Federal Aviation Administration discovered quote unquote unacceptable quality control issues during an audit into Boeing and supplier Sprint Aero Systems. The FAA did not share its findings with the public. How transparent. But according to the New York Times report, its findings revealed troubling and inconsistent manufacturing processes. Auditors found that Boeing failed 33 out of 89 product audits, a review of specific aspects in the production line, with a total of 97 counts of alleged noncompliance, according to the newspaper. Well, I'm sure that, airplanes is one of those places where you can kind of just fudge it. Sure. Yes, you can. Squabob, I would be happy to try to help with the express understanding that I am a complete hot mess. Good evening, cool gamer. Aerospace Systems, which makes the bodies of the 737 MAX jet failed 7 out of 13 product audits. Well, that's only just half-ish. One of its noted failures had to do with the installation of the aircraft's door plug. I mean, no one will notice. Uh, FAA auditors also discovered mechanics from the company using hotel key cards to check the doors or the jet's door, while another mechanic used Dawn dish soap as a lubricant. If let me if you want to send it directly to me on Discord, if you have Discord, I'm mom of 6 on Discord. That is great. Um, if that works for you. If not, I think I've put my email out, so it's not a big giant secret squirrel email. I still have a Yahoo email. Let's see here, where is it? Boeing told The Times, the company is, quote, "reviewing all identified nonconformities for corrective action." Mom of 6. So, mom and then of 6. I think it's all one word. Lord, I don't even remember my own name to be on yes, it's all one word. I honestly have to look up, my Twitter every time someone asks me. I'm so thankful for mods, I swear to goodness. I really am because people ask me and I'm like, "I don't know." The company has 90 days to develop a comprehensive plan of action to address the quote systematic quality control issues raised by the audit. The National Transportation Safety Board is also investigating the horrifying door panel blowout, and the Justice Department has opened a criminal probe into Boeing. I'm sure they will both investigate themselves and find themselves not guilty, though. But I'm glad taxpayer money is going into comprehensive investigation that will find themselves both not guilty. In what the actual Schnell? I was minutes from death after taking quote unquote Barbie drug. Everyone needs to be warned. Well, if something is an inhalant and it says Barbie drug, don't take it. Okay, let's see what this says. Dying to look all dolled up nearly cost this mom her life. Edith Eagle, a 47-year-old stepmother of 4, was rushed to the hospital in April 2023 after snorting a $32 self-tanning nasal spray. What in the actual hell in a handbasket? A self-tanning nasal spray? Of all of the absolute jackassery. Are you kidding me? Good night, my mini 67. I hope you get some good sleep. Uh, Known as the TikTok viral Barbie drug in hopes of securing a hot hue in ahead of a family vacation to the Canary Islands. Quote, "I could have died that day," Eagle, a chef and wedding venue owner in the UK, explained to Kennedy News Media. "I will never again buy anything like this, especially from the internet. Why would you huff tanning spray? Dear Lord, you are 47. I mean, I could expect this from a kidult at 18. I could. I could expect I could expect it from a kidult at 18, maybe a 21er, but as a ma'am, and you're already bronzy. What the hell? How much orangier do you need to be? Oh my gosh. Look, I am pale. I have made peace with it. I will not huff nasal tan. Wanting a faux glow, the Gen Xer purchased the bottle of bronzing booster or melatonin. I have no idea what the hell I'm not no. This largely illegal drug has been touted online as fake tan alternative in the wake of the ever buzzy Barbiecore craze, which has prompted wannabe pinups to pursue cosmetic procedures like Barbie nose rhinoplasty and plastic package upgrades to their lady bits. What is wrong with people? Folks who have used melanotan to enhance their looks are reportedly at a higher risk of developing skin cancer or kidney disease or erectile dysfunction. Hello, Jude Carrio, Hospice Jess. I need you to I need you to explain this to me because this woman done huffed tanning spray. I I this is not on my bingo card this year. Okay, folks who have used melanotan to enhance their looks are reportedly at a higher risk of developing skin cancer, kidney disease, and erectile dysfunction. Well, I was always worried about erectile dysfunction. Guess I'm I'll risk it. No, I won't. I'm never gonna huff tanning spray. But Eagle, who was reportedly encouraged to try the tanning substitute by her stepdaughter, Kayla Fox, wasn't aware of the life-threatening danger she faced. Kayla suggested getting a nasal tanning spray to me as a way to get a quick tan. This cannot be a real thing. How the hell did someone make this shit up, and who bought this? And I'm sorry to use curse words, but what the actual Schnell? I am just no, this has to be an absolute and this woman is 47, and ma'am, you look beautiful for 47. But it seriously? For cereal? You super man bear pig believed this? We'd get tan quite quickly anyway on holiday, and we were going to the Canary Islands. So I Googled it and saw it pop up online and ordered it. She continued, I like being tan because I prefer not using makeup, and I always like looking fresh with a tan. Eagle was initially delighted with how well the DIY darkener did the trick. Ma'am, how much darker can you get? I mean, no offense. A apparently you push melanin into your nose? I have no idea. This makes no sense. No, it's nasal spray that you put up your nose that's supposed to make you tan. I that apparently nearly killed this woman. On the first day, we were so brown, I've never experienced anything like it, gushed the brunette. I was very tan after one day, although she admittedly found it odd that the nasal spray's ingredients weren't listed on the label and probably made in like Liberia. Eagle was tickled pink with her Barbie-like look, but things quickly took a dark turn after just 24 hours of sun-kissed smexiness. The next morning, I woke up and realized I couldn't breathe properly, probably because you inhaled melanin, you dingus, said Eagle. Then I noticed I was completely swollen. I was so out of breath, I had to concentrate so much on breathing, it was really difficult to breathe. Well, now you look like Barbie after, botulism. And I feel bad for this woman. I really feel bad. I do. My neck was so swollen that my necklace was tight. I was just swollen everywhere, added the mom. I realized it must be an allergic reaction. Eagle was transported to a nearby emergency room where healthcare providers immediately plied her with steroids to quell the swell or the spread of poison throughout her body. I'd never had an allergic reaction in my whole life to foods or anything, said Eagle. I think it was definitely the spray. God in heaven, I wish I was there when she told the doctors that she tried spray tan up the effing nose. There are no ingredients on the bottle, you don't know what you're putting in your body. She credits fast-moving hospital workers with saving her life and not giggling on rolling on the floor. I wouldn't be standing here if hospital staff hadn't acted so quickly, a grateful eagle told Kennedy News. I was rushed straight through. It was so frightening. In the months since the harrowing incident, Eagle and Fox have discovered a community of folks online who allegedly faced near death due to melanotan. I've seen other people have reactions to the spray like me on social media, and their symptoms are the exact same, said Eagle. Her stepdaughter has even issued a virtual advisory against the good to be true nose juice. Quote, please don't use nasal tanners as this is what they can do to you, read Fox's warning post. Poisoned my stepmom's body. She had an allergic reaction. Oh, her stepmom's so pissed she put this picture up, you know she is. Stay away from them. The poison has been building up over time. They're dangerous for some people. Eagle is additionally urging others to steer clear of the nasal nightmare. It was frightening for my family to see me like that, but we have photographic evidence. She said, I feel grateful to be alive. Please don't make the same mistake as me, Eagle begged. If this can save anyone's life, then I would rather suffer for anyone else before they make a stupid decision like me. I blame myself. Ma'am, you done huffed melanin. I mean, from the internet with absolutely no ingredients, and it looks like it was made in someone's basement, along with method acting factory right next to it. What the actual hell? I mean, I feel very bad that you had a terrible reaction, but what the hell did you expect? It's like some Windex and some probably cinnamon. Are you kidding me? Mo is in full F deficit if you haven't noticed. What do you do when you cross rodeo with skiing? The wild, wacky sport of skiorking. And here you go, you can watch you cannot hear it because I cannot figure out Brave, but apparently this is what you do, um when you don't have hills. I y'all, this is what happens when rural people get together. Leadville, Colorado, Nick Burr clicks into his ski binding, squats and stretches his knee, and scans the snowy race course. Moments later, he's zipping past a series of gates at high speed and hurdling off jumps, but he's not, it's not gravity pulling him toward the finish line. It's the brute force of a quarter horse named Sirius. Welcome to ski jorking, an extreme and quirky winter sport that celebrates the unlikely melding of rodeo and ski culture in the U.S. Mountain West. The heart-pumping white-knuckle competition in which horses and sometimes dogs, snowmobiles, or even cars tow skiers by rope at speeds that can top 40 miles per hour or 64 kilometers over jumps as high as 8 feet or 2.4 meters, and around obstacles as they try to lance suspended hoops with a baton, basically a ski pole that's cut in half. Every winter, thousands of people converge on the old mining town of Leadville, Colorado, high in the Rocky Mountains, an elevation of 10,158 feet, lining downtown's Main Street and packing the saloons to witness one of the most popular ski jorking races in the country. The spectacle, billed as the quote granddaddy of them all, has been a tradition here since 1949. That's it, y'all. We are going on a chat field trip. Everyone's wearing chaps. Whether you wear pants under them or not is up to you. I'll be wearing them on top of my holy roller skirt because of, my leg, but we're all wearing chaps. The lining downtown's okay, where is it? Quote, "It's just, the pure adrenaline that gets me to do it, and then these 2 different groups of people together with the riders and the skiers, usually they don't hang out, getting them together, we really mesh well," said Burry, who wears fringed leather pants and his ski gear in a nod to the sport's Western vibe. Skijorking draws its name from the Norwegian word skijorking, meaning ski driving, which started as a practical mode of transportation in Scandinavia and became popular in the Alps around the 1900s. Today's sport is inherently dangerous. Well, of course it is. This is why my boys will probably be skijorking next year with like dirt bikes and a plank of wood. And injuries are not uncommon among riders and skiers alike. Indeed, one of the first riders in the Leadville race earlier this month toppled off his horse and had to be helped off the track as he shook his head in confusion. Burry did well in the competition despite skiing with a separated shoulder from a hard pool spill during a race 2 weeks earlier. Good Lord, these people are insane. Quote, "Wrong turn, taking a jump wrong, go down wrong, you could end your season. Then hospital bills rack up, but it's just for the thrill of it," said Burry, a 26-year-old from Meeker, Colorado. Another skier, Jason Decker, pulled out of the race at the last minute because he broke his collarbone in a crash during a recent contest. He sometimes wears a protective cup. His mom. After a valuable lesson learned after being hit in the groin by a flying chunk of snow flung by a horse hoof. The lessons you learn in life. Quote, "It's not uncommon that my hands are shaking even a little bit even after all this time because that horse's nostrils are flaring and I'm about ready to grab a rope that's attached to that saddle. And if I'm not ready to go, and then things can go real bad real quickly," said Decker, a 43-year-old engineer from Pasagosa Springs, Colorado, who's been skiing since he was 2 and skijorking for 14 years. Samantha McCarthy, a competitive spijorker since she was 12, describes a similar nervous energy before she mounts her horse for a race. But when she's speeding down the course, her world goes silent. "I don't hear a thing when I'm running," she said. It's when it's happening, you really don't have time to think about anything, but when you get done, you're like, "Holy cow, that was insane," said McCarthy, a 24-year-old financial broker from Durango, Colorado, who has won the Leadville race 9 times. One of her more memorable moments is when her horse slipped, pulled back, and head-butted her, breaking her nose. Okay, y'all people, God bless you, but you're much more adventurous than me. I will gladly sit back and drink spiked stuff and wear my chaps and watch y'all. Both riders and skiers say those moments, the crashes, the speed, the raucous crowd, and the camaraderie make ski jorking what it is, and the sport is growing. Lorne Zimorowska, chair of Skijork USA, which promotes the sport and helps organize races across the country, says skijorking is becoming more mainstream with the rise of social media, and she hopes one day it will be featured in the Winter Olympics. Skijorking is particularly popular in Poland and Switzerland, as well as Colorado, Wyoming, and Montana in the US. 5 years ago, about 350 riders and the same amount of skiers were competing in the US, she said. Now there are more than 1,000 competitors in each of these categories, and the number of races has increased about from about 15 a year to more than 30. One event in Shakopee, Minnesota, consistently draws a crowd of 10,000 spectators. Despite its growing popularity, getting the sport into the Olympics has proved challenging. Isn't speed walking a sport? Asking for a friend. There is no official governing body, no uniform set of rules and regulation, and no point system that would allow riders to advance to the Winter Games. Plus, every track is different and every race has its own unique traditions and sometimes stubborn organizer. Still, Lauren is pushing to include skijorking as a non-competitive demonstration sport or to be included in the torch relay at the 2034 Winter Olympics in Salt Lake City. Quote, "I think it's one of the most romantic and visually pleasing sports that you could see. It's just magnificent," she said. "Everyone loves snow, and then you add horses to that, and then you add cowboys and cowgirls to that, and then you add skiing to that and bonfires and fun music. I mean, it's all the elements that go into a skijorking event, in my opinion, are really feel good elements. So there you go. We're all going skijorking. I will be sitting down next to the bonfire with all the booze, but y'all have fun. And ma'am, you can run for me as any fruit you want to. I'm the only person to run a marathon on every continent dressed as a fruit, and my name is Sally Orange. You know what? Everyone has a bucket list. This is not on mine. Of course, my bucket list includes DJing, a furry dance off contest. So, really, let your flag fly, ma'am. Meet the only person on the planet to have completed a marathon on every continent dressed as a piece of fruit. Sally Orange is famous for her running gear and has even met members of the royal family whilst dressed in her fruity outfits. That can be taken several ways. New York Post. YouTube, don't come after me. That was the post, okay? Uh, and MBE, she has raised more than 80,000 pounds or $1,007,848 for charity by running more than 80 marathons. uh, let's see, Sally, 49, who is an ex-Army major, has been running her fruit-themed marathons since 2009. She completed her first Fruity Continent Challenge in 2017 before doing it again in 2023, this time doing it in 7 days. She ran as a jackfruit in Africa, an orange in Europe, a peach and a kiwi in Austra Australasia, okay, a pear in Antarctica, an apple in North America, grapes in South America, and a banana in Asia. Sally, who served with the Royal Army Medical Corps for 22 years, said, quote, "I couldn't recognize any of my teammates in Antarctica as they had goggles on and hoods up, but everyone knew who I was because I was dressed as a pod of peas." Hello, Erin Olivia. That's a whole hell of a lot of running and a whole hell of a lot of running. Sally said, quote, "One of the hardest marathons was when I was the fifth marathon in Madrid when I was running 7 marathons on each of the 7 continents in 7 days." What, ma'am? That is a bucket. That is a goal, and you run that, but holy crap, are you Forrest Gump? Imma need to know why you're running so much because there's not a bear or a zombie apocalypse. That's the only motivators for me, possibly Little Debbie's. If there are the Christmas trees on the other end of the line, I might could be motivated. Crossing 16 different time zones and not sleeping for a week definitely took its toll. Describe Despite being in pain and crying for most of the marathon, my plight to get the mental health message out there on a global scale is what got me through. I was crying throughout the race because of how lucky I am to walk. We had to do 32 laps of a housing estate in the heat to go from negative 40 degrees to more than 40 degrees. So that would be negative 80 degrees. I think she means 40 as in Celsius, so 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Don't math me. Plus the time zones was another reason the uh, challenge was so difficult. She's a peanut. How the hell do you run as a peanut? That would bother the ever living turds out of me. Sal Sally is from Salisbury, Wilts, and did her first marathon in London in 2007. She has run more than 80 since then in all sorts of costumes and location. Sally was discharged from the military due to struggles with depression and severe anxiety, she said. She said her outfits are meant to lighten a really dark topic. She loves a challenge, and next year she'll be competing in the Everest Marathon. Sally said we'll be hiking up to base camp and running back down the mountain. That sounds awful, but you have fun with that. And I mean that genuinely. I don't mean that bitchily. I just that sounds dead awful. But if it sounds good for you, I am happy that it is making you happy. It just sounds like torture to me. I took my message of mental health around the world and now I want to take it to the top of the world. I bet we could. Sally collected an MBE in November last year after raising huge amounts of money for charity. I do not know what an MBE is. I think it might be a British thing. If anyone in the chat knows, unless it's like a master in business executiveness. In really, really sad news, but I feel like I should get his story out there, so maybe if his fiancée has any support stuff that is out there, we can get it out there for her. Extraordinary police officer dies in a freak accident during his engagement party in front of his fiancée. So I'm not doing this for shock value. If there is a GoFundMe, I figure I could at least get the message out a little bit. An Australian police officer's engagement party turned into a tragedy when he fell, cut his neck, and passed away in front of his fiancée and their friends. Senior Constable Liam Trimmer and his fiancée, a nurse, threw a party at their Australian home Sunday to announce their upcoming nuptials, but he slipped and fell during the joyous occasion, Nine News reported. The 29-year-old somehow cut his neck and died of injuries in the mishap. Uh, Quote, everything was done to try to save him, but it wasn't to be. And I know everyone that was involved are really hurting, and think they wish they could just wake up from the nightmare, WA Police Commissioner Colonel Blanche said, according to the outlet. Police have launched an investigation into the tragedy. His fiancée was not named. Trimmer, who was originally from the UK, moved to Australia about 10 years ago and graduated from the Joondalup Police Academy in 2013, Nine News reported. Oh, thank you so much, Squabob. Member of the Order of the British Empire, a British honor founded by the King. Okay, thank you so much. Let's see here. And he was so very cute. They're so very cute together. In 2017, he moved to the outback mining town of Kalgoorlie. To all my Australian friends, I'm very sorry. About 370 miles east of Perth, where he joined the Crime Gang Squad, a tactical response group, and the local rugby team. This extraordinary officer loved helping the community and was a fine example of WA policing, and it's such a tragedy, Blanche said. A very, very confident, capable young man with his whole life ahead of him, and that's how sad this is. The WA Police Union said in a statement that it was deeply saddened by the passing of a valued member of the Blue family and sent its heartfelt condolences to the families, friends, and colleagues. Let's see. Deeply saddened by the passing of the valued member of Blue, heartfelt condolences to the family, friends, and colleagues of the fallen officer during this difficult period. Paul Gailey, the union's president, said, quote, every time a death occurs for a police officer, it doesn't matter how, it really does rock the core of the police family. Trimmer was featured in the BBC show Wanted Down Under, in which British families were given a taste of life in Australia and New Zealand before deciding whether to leave the UK, the Telegraph reported. Deputy Premier Rita Safety described the cop's death as an awful, awful tragedy. As I understand it, this police officer came over from the UK to start a new life in WA. My condolences go out to the family and friends of the officer, she said, according to the outlet. Well, dang it. I thought that there was maybe going to be some support or something we could send for the fiance, but there was not. So, hopefully, they have plenty of friends and family. I cannot imagine how heartbroken she is, and I hope that she's getting all the help she needs. In an someone needs a lot of help. Romanian court grants UK request to extradite Andrew Tate once local legal cases are concluded. So I guess he's going back to Britain. Bucharest, Romania. A court in Romania's capital on Tuesday granted a request by British authorities to extradite the divisive online influencer Andrew Tate, but only after legal proceedings against him in Romania have been concluded, his spokesperson said. The Bucharest Court of Appeal decision came after Tate, 37, and his brother Tristan Tate were detained on Monday evening on arrest warrants issued by British authorities over allegations of SA in a UK case dating back to 2012 to 2015. The appeals court, where the Tate brothers appeared in handcuffs on Tuesday, escorted by police, also ordered them to be immediately released. Spokesperson Matteo Petrescu said. Eugene Vinendek, Tate's lawyer, hailed the court's decision, saying it, quote, provides an opportunity for the brothers to participate fully in their defense and for the legal process to, quote, proceed in a transparent manner. 4 women had reported Andrew Tate to UK authorities for alleged SA and physical abuse, but the Crown Prosecution Service decided not to prosecute him. The alleged victims then turned to crowdfunding to cover the legal cost as they pursued a civil case against him. We handed over our evidence about the horrific acts of violence we endured and waited for action. But 4 years later, we were told UK authorities would not prosecute him, they stated on their campaign page. It's our one remaining route to hold him accountable. It wasn't immediately clear that what Tristan Tate is accused of in the UK. Before the court's ruling in Tuesday, Petrescu said that the Tate brothers, who are dual UK and US citizens, rejected the charges and, quote, expressed profound disappointment that such serious allegations are being resurrected without substantial new evidence, end quote. Andrew Tate is charged in a separate case in Romania with rape, human trafficking, and forming a criminal gang to exploit women. He was arrested near Bucharest in December 2022, along with his brother and 2 Romanian women. Romanian prosecutors formally indicted all 4 in June, and they have denied the allegations. McHugh Jury and Partners, the legal firm representing the 4 British women who accuse Andrew Tate of all of the allegations, said in a statement Tuesday they urged British police to, quote, immediately seek a warrant for Tate's detention and extradition after they received information last week he might be planning to flee Romania. Quote, today's news is very welcome as it has been a significant concern to many that Tate would seek to avoid justice in Romania and abroad, said Matthew Jury, a managing partner at the law firm. We are grateful to the British authorities for taking our concerns seriously. Who cares about Andrew Tate all this much? Not me. I mean, look, he's probably going to get railroaded. And in other news, dude, you are in Florida. What? Caution. If you are in Florida, do not put your hands in a pond without looking. I'm just saying. Monster gator lurking in golf course pond bites off, that is OFF, yes, off, fisherman's hand. A Florida man had his hand chewed off by a monster alligator that lunged at him from a golf course pond over the weekend, wildlife officials said. Now, do they let the now one-handed fisherman go back and avenge his hand? The victim was reeling in a fish in a pond in Leesburg on Sunday afternoon when a 9-foot 3 inch, I don't think they mean 3-inch, uh, 9-foot 3 inch. Never mind, I got it. Gator pounced as golfers and other locals looked in horror, according to the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission. While the guy was on the ground, the gator got the guy in the hand, then the two rolled. Shaken witness Ron Priest told Fox 50 or 35. Please don't nope, don't show anything. I don't need to see it. The reptile chewed off the angler's hand, then ditched the badly bleeding man and his catch and retreated back into the water. He didn't even keep the effing fish. I am pissed now, you asshole alligator. One of the callers told the dispatcher that the fisherman had been walking around with blood on his hands, moaning and groaning constantly. "There's a gator attacking a man in my backyard," a caller shouted on the phone, according to the outlet. "Some people have stopped in their golf carts." Oh my God, this is such Florida. Can we get okay, is anyone really good at FOIA requests? Because we need these 911 calls. And I seriously hope that this man is okay, but can you imagine the Florida man in this? I am never going to Florida. Look, I love the freedom. I love America's freedom dong, but they have gators, they have pythons, they have lizards. I ain't doing it. Another caller phoned in and the dispatcher said, "Is this regarding the gator attack?" The witness replied, "Yes, he took his hand off." The emergency operator responded, "Oh no, okay." The panicked caller added, "Hand is gone." I feel so bad, but this is I mean, the medical helicopter arrived minutes later and airlifted the injured fisherman to the hospital in Orlando. There was no immediate word on his condition. The male alligator was trapped and removed from the pond, the Conservation Commission said. Yeah, but did we get the hand back? I mean, I feel like that's important information. I mean, at least let the fishermen have revenge and engination. Just saying. I would. All good things must come to an end, and sometimes they end with a felony. Double swiping the rewards card led to free gas for months and a felony theft charge. I do believe he might have been on Happy Gilmore. I'm just saying. Lincoln, Nebraska. A Nebraska woman allegedly found a lucrative quirk at a gas station pump. Double swipes the reward card and get free gas. Unfortunately for her, you can't do that, prosecutors said. The 45-year-old woman was arrested March 6th and faces penalty theft charges, accusing her of a crime that cost the gas station nearly $28,000. Prosecutors say the woman exploited the system for over a period of several months. Police learned of the problem in October when the loss prevention manager at Bosselman Enterprises reported that the company's pump and pantry in Lincoln had been scammed. Fuel pumps at the station received a software update in November 2022 that managed, among other things, rewards card. But the company was unaware of a glitch that allowed anyone swiping a rewards card twice to put a gas pump into demonstration mode. In demo mode, the user could pump gas at no cost. Well, now you tell us. Dang it. You are braver than me, will call magic. I will say that. Braver than me. A probable cause statement from the prosecutor said loss prevention manager determined that one particular card had been used repeatedly to obtain free gas. Police were able to trace the card to the suspect, and the video surveillance showed the woman pumping gas on multiple occasions from November 2022 until June 1st when the glitch was fixed, the statement said. Authorities believe the woman not only used the scam to get free gas, but she allowed another woman to use her car for a fee. The probable cause statement said the other woman told the police that she paid to use the card for discounted fuel. Authorities believe that the woman paid Thompson $500 for gas purchases that should have been around $700. All told, the card was used 510 times, and more than 7,400 gallons of gas were pumped for free, probable cause statement said. The suspect is free on bond and has a court hearing April 11th. A phone message was left Tuesday with her attorney. Yeah, it's not her fault, that's the company's fault. Like, why is it her fault if she figured it out? The problem is she didn't share it with the rest of us. Now that's some pettiness right there, you should have shared it with all of us. All of us want to have all of it. And for the us gals out there, now I'm more of a Bath and Body Works person if I'm gonna spend a lot of money on frou-frou stuff, but the body shop is shutting down in the US after filing for bankruptcy. So if you are a body shop fan, I guess go in and buy all their going out of business stuff. The body shop is shutting down in US operations after filing for bankruptcy. The UK-based chain is filing for Chapter 7 liquidation in New York last week, according to the court filing. The filing means the company's US operation will sell off certain assets to pay back its creditors. Earlier this month, the beauty store confirmed that it had filed for restructuring in its home company or country, the United Kingdom, as well as in Canada. While some stores in those countries will remain open, the chain indicated it will be shuttering all remaining US locations. A body shop spokesperson did not immediately respond to a request for comment. According to The Guardian, some 50 locations in the US were operational at the time of the bankruptcy filing. Launched in 1976 in Brighton, UK, by an entrepreneur and rights activist, Anita Roderick, using the name of an earlier store founded in Berkeley, California, Body Shop was acquired for the equivalent of 1.3 billion in 2006 by beauty giant L'Oreal. It subsequently changed hands again before being acquired by a private equity group in December for approximately 250 million. But the company collapsed in February with administrators citing mismanagement and a changing retail landscape. Quote, the body shop has faced an extended period of financial challenges under previous owners, coinciding with a difficult trading environment for the wider retail sector. Meaning, we done screwed up and we have no idea why. But we'll be taking our golden parachutes now. The administrators said in a statement, according to Reuters. Oh, I have to put this one up as my last one. I realized that. Stoner rats found eating up the marijuana in New Orleans police evidence room. Quote, they're all high. They're all high. These rats have friends in high places. Reefer loving rodents are gobbling up the cannabis stash held under lock and key in New Orleans Police Department's dilapidated evidence room, officials announced Monday. Quote, the rats are eating our devil's lettuce. Superintendent Ann Kirkpatrick told City Council's Criminal Justice Committee, according to NOLA.com. Quote, they're all high. I don't know why, but I mean, I'm sure it's really bad for the aminals, but that would just be hilarious. I need to sit at this meeting, like, "Look, your committiness, the rats are all high, then they're breaking into the vending machines, they have the munchies, they eat all the Slurpees, they don't do anything, they just sit around watching Futurama." Kirkpatrick started Kirkpatrick's startling report came as she pleaded with city councilors, uh, to fund a new home for the Big Easy's police force. She argued that the current police headquarters, built in 1968, are not fit for the modern police force, describing how elevators are broken, there is no air conditioning. Oh, hell no. Y'all need to quit. Look, as a fluffy and not so nice person, when I am hot and sweaty and have that one little trickle bead of sweat rolling down my back, no, no. Get these people some air conditioning. No, no. And officers are forced to work around rat and cockroach droppings scattered on their desks. The stone rats are of particular concern because their taste for marijuana could jeopardize criminal cases, she noted. The uncleanliness is off the charts, Kirkpatrick told city officials on Monday. The janitorial cleaning team deserves an award for trying to clean what is uncleanable. Problems at the police headquarters seem to have arisen in the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina, devastating the city in 2005. The basement was full of flooding water, an unidentified veteran of the force told NOLA.com. You got a lot of rodents that climb through the walls, some things you can't get to, so there's always been some type of rodent, bugs, rats, mice, or whatever, the officer explained. The infestation is now a turnoff for any potential out-of-state transfers and hinders morale among the police force, Kirkpatrick argued. It's not okay. It's not okay for people to be treated that way and to be called valued, she said. Council member Oliver Thomas, who chairs the Criminal Justice Committee, seemed to agree. He said he was surprised by the news of the marijuana eating rats. Everything is a surprise, he told NOLA.com. It's a surprise that the headquarters was going to move when we heard about the news. It shouldn't be a surprise that we're surprised. Thomas and the other council members ultimately moved on Monday to approve the police department's 10-year lease of 2 floors of a downtown police building pending a full council vote. Under the terms of the lease agreement, the city would pay a total base rent of 7.6 million from its general fund over 10 years. But trying to fix all the problems the current headquarters are facing, including trying to exterminate the stoner rats, would cost 3 times as much. Can we use a flamethrower? Can I volunteer? Like, if I get to use an Elon Musk flamethrower, I am deathly afraid of things that skitter, like mice and rats and other things, but if I get to go in there with, like, a GD flamethrower, like, sign me up like space troopers, okay? Or star troopers, starship troopers, dang it. I'm there. Look, I have some revenging to do. Police officials now hope to move to the high rise by May 1st, according to WWL-TV. Yeah, well, if they have to take everything down to studs, but you would think that they had done that after Hurricane Katrina unless they really just effed that up. I mean, I don't know what they did. So, but there you go. If you had if you had high rats from New Orleans on your bingo card, you are a better fortune teller than Miss Cleo. I will see you guys in the morning. I am sending you all to Shizzy. I will be there in a minute. I'm gonna take Fry out for his last walk, and then I will join you there. I think we are discussing the hails tonight, and I will be having an adult beverage or 5. I'm just kidding. Probably 1 and my very weak one, but, it's fun to dream. Have a wonderful evening, you guys. Thanks for joining me. I hope you have a great evening if you're not joining for Shizzy, and have a wonderful morning if I don't see you then. So, bye, guys.